All right, welcome back, everybody, to another ridiculous, crazy episode of the wyattsmetal podcast. I am Wyatt. Thank you all for tuning in. Hello to all of the Blue Ridge Rock Festival survivors. I hope you guys are okay. Holy fucking shit! What the fuck? It's a good thing that I have that intro in the beginning of my live streams. Otherwise, YouTube would have gotten mad at me for saying fuck that early in the stream. But yeah, as I'm sure pretty much everybody knows, but in case you don't, Blue Ridge Rock Festival was this last weekend. Um, and it was not exaggerating, it was basically Firefest. It went horribly, horribly wrong on pretty much every single angle. Which honestly surprised me when I started hearing about it. Because if there was one festival that people in my little community here, you viewers, were asking me to go to, it was Blue Ridge Rock Fest. I was getting a lot of requests to go to that one, and I had planned on going um, for a little bit, and then it didn't work out in the end. It kind of wasn't really worth it, I felt. And holy shit, dodged a major fucking bullet there. Yeah, so let me catch up with some of these comments really quick. What's up, everybody? I'm glad you survived. I'm glad that people genuinely did survive because I'm sure the people there can attest that it could have been so much worse. And it's honestly kind of surprising that it wasn't. Um, I saw this comment during the intro. Imagine being the unlucky bastard who went to Wacken in Germany, came home to America, and said, let's try Blue Ridge this time. Yeah, it's been a crazy fucking year for metal festivals. Many of them have not worked out. If someone was really unlucky and went to Wacken and then tried to go to Metal Days and then went to Burning Man and then Blue Ridge, they're probably never going to leave their house ever again. That could be the most unlucky dice you could ever roll. What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, everybody, for popping in here. Yeah, so as everyone's saying, it was a total shit show. And well, hang on, let me get to Jeffrey really quick. I think calling it Firefest is an overstatement. They did have a day and a half of good bands, but the logistics were fucked. Yeah, so let's go over this whole story. So I have been compiling all the information, stories I could possibly find to try to really narrow down what happened. A lot of unbelievable stories that were totally true. And then, as these things tend to, some rumors, some fabrications, some shit that was just totally made up was making its way in there. So it's trying really hard to narrow down what we know, what we can find out definitely happened. So, aside from the entire festival being incredible price gouging, which is one thing that threw me off immediately when I was looking into it, everything was super fucking expensive, and the parking situation was insane. I saw. So they have the festival in one spot, and then the parking lot about 5 miles away, and you were required to take a shuttle to the festival. You couldn't walk, you couldn't get dropped off. You had to take a shuttle that people were saying costed $50-$60 a person, and you had to take it. Which one is fucking bullshit. But so after that, that's already a pain in the ass. But so Thursday, people get into the festival, and reports are that there was barely any water at all. For a festival of tens of thousands of people, I heard there were 2 water stations, one of which was in the VIP section. So 1 water station for all of the people who didn't pay even extra for VIP, which is clearly not enough for people. It was so extremely hot there, which, I mean, to be fair, they can't control the weather, but it was extremely hot there with barely any water at all, plenty of bars for everyone. So I kept hearing people saying people were passing out left and right. So many people got heat stroke, heat exhaustion. I heard of a couple seizures from people. Apparently the medic tents didn't know what the fuck they were doing either. At least from what I heard from some people. But anyway, Thursday goes along, and as it's burning fucking hot, all of a sudden it starts pissing rain. And the videos I saw were fucking horrendous, and I'll pull up some in a bit. But they had this storm that people said lasted about an hour or so, but it was out of nowhere. 60-mile-an-hour winds, intense fucking rain, hail. People were saying was the size of like a dime, and lightning. Some people were saying that lightning ended up striking one of the stages. I haven't totally confirmed that or not, but I saw people saying that. Um, the festival announced an evacuation. It's too dangerous here. Please go seek shelter immediately. The festival had no shelter whatsoever. So people were being kicked out into just an open field with trees and metal poles during a lightning storm. People were just pushed out, waiting for literally fucking nothing, getting drenched, um, freezing because they said they were standing out there the whole fucking time. And that's where it's pretty fucking amazing that nobody was killed because they had people underneath trees. Some people said they were hiding under the stage, which is incredibly fucking dangerous. But so a couple thousand people were left just outside during this insane storm, and people were reporting all types of medical issues. Apparently, the festival had told them to head toward the shuttles and go on those for cover, which apparently weren't fucking there at first, and eventually showed up later. So, according to a lot of people, from when the festival announced an evacuation and people were stuck out there in that rain and lightning, it took from the evacuation order about 4 to 5 hours, maybe more for some people, to actually get on the fucking shuttles and get back to their cars. Which, when I was hearing about this story, um, I am so incredibly impressed how well pretty much everybody handled it. And I'm being honest, this could have been a Astroworld situation or worse, with people on top of everything else panicking, not knowing what the fuck was going on. Um, People were saying they were genuinely afraid for their lives. That they really like you don't there's so many times where something will go wrong at a festival, rain, fucking whatever. Something will go wrong and everyone will jump up and immediately go, "Oh, it's a new Fyre Fest. It's a new Fyre Fest." This one is legitimate fair to say that it actually was. So anyway, that storm happens on Thursday. People wait hours soaking wet, no bathroom, no water, no food, no heat, just standing out there for hours. And then apparently Friday happens, and despite all of the other issues that weren't weather related, there was massive piles of garbage everywhere. The porta potties were completely overflowing, and there weren't enough of them at all. So there was all of that horrible shit. But apparently Friday, most if not all of the bands that were scheduled did actually play, and there were actually shows, and people said that they were, for the most part, really good. There was also, I heard, a lot of phones getting stolen. Apparently, there were packs of douchebag, worthless pieces of shit going through the festival, straight just snatching phones out of people. There were empty phone cases laying all over that had been broken and ripped apart. I heard a lot of that. But aside from those things, Friday happened pretty much fine from what I'm hearing, aside from waiting to get on shuttles that took. Some people said that from that stupid fucking parking lot to the actual entrance of the festivals, they waited 4, 6, some said like I think 13 hours to get onto a fucking bus that they had to pay for to go see bands. People were saying that when they got there to get into the campground, they had to wait 13 hours. sitting in their car. People were falling asleep, running out of gas. And that's what I'm saying about, like, I can't believe how well people handled it, because I was gonna be there, and I know that if I had gone, I would have went completely fucking feral. I would have eaten somebody. I would have gone fucking insane. I don't know how you all managed to do it so well, and I honestly mean that. Um, I know it was the most fucking shit situation possible. Nobody who was there deserved to go through any of that shit. Um, the fans definitely not. The staff, we're gonna get to that. The bands, we're get to that too. Um, but so on Friday, I know. Sorry, right now I'm jumping like kind of all over the place. I didn't have a script for this. I'm just going off of everything. I've literally just been reading people's stories since it fucking happened. I am working on a video that's going to be a lot more clear, straightforward, covers everything. So that will be coming very, very soon. Um, but anyway, Friday, for people who were there, they got to see bands like Electric Callboy, who everyone said was amazing, Slipknot, Danzig, a couple other bands. But that was for the people who managed to get in early. I was hearing that people who hadn't got in, who were waiting at the parking lot for 5 hours just outside doing fuck all, um, many of them were told after they got onto the shuttle, once they got to the festival, that the festival was going to be canceled for the rest of the night because of weather. I think some people were told because of overcrowding, but I also saw some people saying they were told festival was shutting down Friday because of bad weather. As they were being told that, people were inside watching Slipknot, watching Danzig, watching the people who were playing. And this was because it was found out that Blue Ridge had oversold tickets by some 10 to 20,000. Their security wasn't doing fucking jack shit, and honestly, it's a little bit hard to tell how much blame is on Blue Ridge for that and how much is on the security and the team that was hired. I don't know about that part, but I did hear that they weren't doing jack shit and they were just letting people in. So we're letting people in with like stuff, not checking their luggage. They could have had whatever. Someone said they fucking brought their Dabrigan torch into the festival grounds, which is awesome, but like you should not be allowed to do that. um, one second. So people who had bought tickets were being turned away Friday as the show was going on, being told that it was canceled. Saturday, the there's an announcement on Instagram. I believe it was only on Instagram. People who were there can help confirm that or not if there was any announcement actually at Blue Ridge. But on Instagram, they posted that the rest of the festival, Saturday, Sunday, was canceled due to severe weather. I want to see if I can find it really quick to read their gaslighting lies. Yeah, here it is. If I can get all these goddamn ads out of my face. One second, everybody. So, the official announcement from Blue Ridge, I'm going to call them Blue Shit from now on. Blue Shit's announcement was with heavy hearts. Sorry, let me rephrase that. With heavy hearts, due to this weekend's continued severe weather, we must announce the cancellation of the final days of Bullshit Rock Festival. Your safety and well being are our foremost concerns. This was about 1 day, 2 days after they left thousands of people outside in a lightning storm. We understand the disappointment this brings, and we share immensely in your sadness. Please know that this decision was made with the utmost consideration for everyone's bank account involved who had a stake in it. And our focus now is on supporting those of you who are still on site. They left. They fucking left immediately. We are working diligently to provide refund details and will share that information early this week when business reopens. In the meantime, we encourage you to stay safe and take care of each other because we certainly won't. By the way, we're working diligently to provide refund details means we're working as hard as we can behind the scenes to see how we can possibly get out of this. This has been an agonizing turn of events for what was to be such a special weekend. There will be much more that we unveil over the next few days of all lies. Rest assured, we will take care of you despite these difficult circumstances. Thank you for everything with heartfelt gratitude. Bullshit, go fuck yourself fest. So, that was the official announcement. That's exactly what it said. But that's definitely not what happened. So, the true story is that from Friday, so at some point Friday, the staff, I believe it was the stagehands, but the staff all fucking around, about 150 to 200 staff, had collectively got decided and agreed to go on strike because they were giving such shit conditions that I will go over here in just one second. That Friday, they legit put up strike signs around the festival saying, "We're going on strike if you don't give us the most basic fucking needs that we need to survive." And Blue Ridge didn't. So early Saturday, 150 to 200 staff workers walk the fuck off in solidarity. And when the internet found out about this, pretty much everyone agreed with them, as they should, because the staff, if I could find shit, there's a great image for you all. The staff, all of the staff claimed that hang on, where's the actual info? Blah 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 blah. Oh my god, come on, here we go. You can even see the sign or if it will pop up. Yeah, so workers post straight up signs: strike, no showers, no stagehands. Here's a picture of the garbage that was left around. Um, Same for the staff too. I believe this was in the staff area. So the true reason the show was canceled isn't the weather. The pit crew for the stages left. They are protesting not being fed or bathed, so they left for the day. And I don't blame them for working a week and not getting food or shower and expect to keep pushing. No water, no porta potties, trash overflowing. Evacuation on day 2 was because of an oversell of tickets. Security was a joke. Employees knew everything was canceled at 11 a.m. this morning and said nothing. My first rock festival made my depression worse. That is awful. Um, so the conditions that they were saying they had to fucking deal with were they were what was it? They weren't being fed. Days were going by at a time where they weren't getting any food at all. They were saying the food that they were getting was like one strip of bacon with a small piece of bread and a banana, and that was your meal for not only a day, but for like 2 days. Um, these people had been there, some for 2 weeks, and anywhere between 2 weeks to less, setting up really heavy shit. These festivals are big. These stages are heavy. It takes a lot of work. They're working 12 to 15 hours in 90-degree weather, scorching heat, and they're not being given even halfway proper meals. They're giving less than prisoner meals. The showers that they had, they said they all had to share, like, I think 2 shitty little stands that were often broken, had no water pressure, were only giving extremely cold water. They were all saying they had to drive, like, 60 miles one way to go to a fucking gym or a truck stop to take a shower on their own dime and come back. And I'm gonna cover this in my video, but people who work festivals like that, they know that they're gonna have to rough it in a sense. They're not these people were not expecting to, like, be treated like royalty and have these great feasts and like, it's just gonna be a super chill job. They knew they were fucking working, and they're expecting that. And they are all saying I didn't see anyone who worked there saying that this wasn't true. They weren't even getting fucking water. They weren't getting basic food. So, another important point that I think pretty much everyone in the industry should know is you don't fuck with the road crew. They are, I would say, as important as the musicians. Without them, you get nothing. There's no show. Everything falls apart, as Blue Shit Fuckfest quickly learned. This woman, Maya Jones, her tweet's been going around, or her message. Uh, Final day as a lighting tech at Blue Ridge Rock Fest. Glad it's coming to an end at this point. We have no labor help anymore from the hands striking due to poor accommodations provided by the festival and no catering. We only got to run one successful day of the show, LOL, and now about 15 of us are heading in to break down all production on both main stages by ourselves. That's a lot. A lot of work for that many people, I mean. This is what happens when the stagehands, aka the backbone of all music festivals, shows, concerts, corporate gigs, etc., are treated like the lowest of the totem pole when they are one of the most necessary components of a successful event. To all you techs out there that treat stagehands like you don't need them, this could be you, loading out your own crap in the mud and rain with just you and your techs. We are stagehands first. Never forget that. We need them and need to treat them better. To my stagehand friends who are striking, y'all did it. I am so proud of y'all. I hope this helps them understand how big of a piece of the puzzle you all play. I hate the conditions y'all were living in. Hope you all get home safe. P.S. Fuck you for leaving me. um. So this claim by them that this official claim by Blue Ridge Rock Fest, which they doubled down on in a post either today or late yesterday. It was recent. They doubled down, saying that it was the weather and there's a lot of misinformation going out there. Everyone who was there, who attended, who I don't want to say worked it, who endured the slavery of it, who performed there, everyone says that it was not the weather that canceled this festival. Also, this was before they officially canceled the whole thing. Following a thorough assessment of the weekend's continued severe weather, with more forecasted, we have made the painful decision to cancel today's programming in the interest of your safety. I believe this was Friday when bands were still playing. I might be wrong about that part, but yeah, so um it was not the fucking weather. People there were saying that the weather was actually pretty nice by the time that this all started. So mm, hey, I'm just trying to catch up with your guys' comments here really quick, but yeah, so this is just a fucking insane situation. I could not have predicted that it would have gone anywhere near this bad. And I saw, of course, when it happened, there were a bunch of people, not most, maybe bunch is not the right way to say it. There were a couple of people who were saying things like, "What do you want them to do? They can't control the weather. It's not their fault that they rained. I know it sucks, but you can't be mad at them. They did their best." Those people need to shut the fuck up. I'm officially stating that as the official savior of metal. I'm telling people who are saying, "LOL, they can't control the weather." Don't talk. Just stop. Because no, they did not do a magical rain dance that made this fucking storm come in for that 2 days before they canceled the festival for severe weather. But they were 100% in control of their emergency plan for an evacuation for extreme weather for an outdoor festival held in an area that has extreme weather. Um, they were fully in control of how staff were treated, how the festival grounds was taken care of, how bands were treated. I, at least from what I've seen a little bit, it's sort of started to taper down of people defending the festival just because more and more of the information's getting out there. But this is so clearly not a situation where, oh, something unexpected happened and what can you do? Whoop de doo. Oh, shucks. This was some pretty heinous negligence, straight fraud. Um, this is an unprecedented situation. This was not just a, oh, this festival had a shit year. Whoopsie daisy. This was like this motherfucker who ran this, Jonathan Sly, should never be allowed near a live event ever again. Because as we'll find out here in this article, this was not his first time screwing people over. I want to catch up with what Loudwire has said here. Oh yeah, here's one of their bullshit posts. Due to inclement weather, we apologize for any inconveniences. But we are also working to improve things. There's been a lot of lies and rumors spread from you. And the campgrounds are still open with plenty of space. I don't think there was ever any plenty space there. People saying the campground was so overcrowded that they couldn't fucking find a spot. Traffic is barely a thing. I don't know when that was. And people are parking with ease. Shuttles will be running all day and will get you where you need to be. I don't think that was true for even 1 second of the entire festival. Yeah, look at some of these pictures here of trash. You know, I've been to festivals where there's been storms and rain and shit weather, but not like this. Not like this. Um I want to get to this comment really quick. Alonzo is saying bands are playing in the campground, not one drop of rain. Yeah. So the day that they canceled due to severe weather and were concerned for everyone's safety, some members of Shinedown, Papa Roach, and Oliver Anthony, the new viral star, set up a like makeshift acoustic concert in the campground for the people who were stuck there. No fucking rain. No rain. Um, it's a little bit odd that they had to shut down the whole festival for what we could clearly see on video was not raining. Here's piles of trash that were apparently never picked up or very rarely picked up throughout the festival. Like festivals get dirty, but this is fucking insane. Yeah, and apparently the bathrooms for everyone, for the staff, for the campers, either weren't working or were disgusting or overfilled, waiting in line for water for hours. I saw this bullshit. I don't know what this was, but apparently they had porta potties wrapped up for some reason. So anyway, let's see what Jeffrey said. I was in the campgrounds, didn't seem overcrowded to me. Maybe it was just the section I was in. Maybe I wasn't there, so I'm just going off of like all the reports I can get from people. Metalopoly, hey man, says every festival going to turn into Firefest or Burning Man situation. What the fuck? It's a weird year. It's a very weird year for festivals. I hope it stops this year. The irony is this festival has always been fans' first type of event. They always preach how important the community is to them. Yeah, liars often do preach about, oh, we're a family, we're a community. And they tried to pull that shit immediately too with this. I said Stephen Piercy was given shit for asking Water for his band. I heard that for other bands. I'm sure many of you have probably watched Tank the Tech's video that he just put out explaining his experience backstage dealing with the bands and the fucking people there. Some of you may have saw that I made a post saying that I'm working on a video and I was going to have a special guest on the video. And that guest is to be Tank the Tech. I was talking to him after this happened, asking if he'd be down for an interview, and he immediately said yes. I think, though, that I'm going to get this video done first to get all the information out there quickly, because he's still on tour right now. With Electric Callboy, and I'm sure that every single person he actually knows is probably just blowing him the fuck up trying to hear everything. So I'm gonna be doing my video here really soon, and then hopefully being able to do an interview with him, maybe next week, and we can talk about everything. Because his video is fucking nuts what he experienced. For those who haven't watched it, some spoilers. He well, he said that they pretty much all had to just sit outside doing fuck all. There was no communication between anybody. There were no stagehands, which might be because they went on strike. Um, it was a lot, dude. It was pretty unbelievable, honestly. There were times where my jaw was dropped. Like you don't think it can get any worse, and then it does. Um, he said someone on on their crew or one of the few crew that they did have at the festival was injured from moving shit because they didn't have the proper things to do it. Yeah, all around, this was a complete fucking catastrophe from the very beginning. And I don't want to hear any bullshit from people being like, you can't do anything about the weather. Oh, they tried their best, but it was just a big whoopsie daisy. Next year, they're going to do it much more. No, festivals don't go this fucking wrong by some simple little whoopsie daisy mistake that there was no control over. Um, a lot of people have been commenting, why haven't more bands been speaking about it? More industry people. Um, One thing I can't answer on that is that a lot of bands do have to sign NDAs where they won't talk about it. And if they don't, there's just immense pressure from people in the industry, from labels, managers, whoever, um, not to speak out, not to say these things because, oh, you don't want to get blacklisted from this guy who won't put you on this festival, or maybe won't promote your album if you say how this festival was shit or whatever. That is rampant in not only the entire music industry, but very much in metal. And uh, I have the utmost respect for Tank the Tech for coming out and saying his real experience and saying how he thought about not saying anything, but this needed to be spoken of. And it's a weird kind of middle ground a little bit because I'm honestly not for like jumping on the internet and talking a whole bunch of shit if a festival just did some like little stupid thing that wasn't a big deal. If there was some like slight mistake or just something that was like, oh shit, that was a straight up accident. I'm not for like jumping around and being like, oh, this wasn't perfect, so fuck them. But a lot of the problems with the music industry, and especially the metal industry, are situations where someone is straight up incompetent or fucks it over on purpose out of greed, just doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, or is an asshole, and people are too afraid to speak up about it, and therefore nothing changes. And I, being in a band that's not signed, um, I think that is so wrong. I have such a problem with the metal world, metal artists, metal fans being like, we're a family, we stay true to ourselves, we keep it fucking real, we don't take shit from people, we stick true to each other. But oh, I can't say that, or my band won't be allowed to play here. Or oh, we won't get publicized or signed by this label if we point out how this person is a legitimate piece of shit. Um, I hate that shit. I understand why bands do it when bands post like, "Oh, we're so sorry we didn't get to see you guys, but the rain sucks." I'm like, I understand why they weren't straight up just like, "Yo, this is fucking bullshit." But um, and I'm not gonna call like anyone out for doing that or anything, but that's how the industry has gotten so fucked. That's why bands aren't getting paid dick. That's why festival promoters can get away with shit, even if it's not as bad as this one. Plenty of festival promoters, like Little Bo Prick, do awful shit that they should be called out on. There's a lot of what do I say? I guess like there's a lot of like corporate like fear in the industry, I would say, which sucks for a scene that spouts itself as being so rebellious and true and against bullshit. Um, yeah, you know, uh, when something happens like this, it needs to get called out. People need to get held accountable. If this was an honest, like, thing, like, holy shit, a fucking everything was going perfect, everything was set up exactly how it's supposed to be, everything was running exactly how it's supposed to be, but a fucking tornado came through and we couldn't do anything about it, it wouldn't be the same it wouldn't be the same thing. It wouldn't be the same thing because that would be, "Holy shit, that was a huge fucking disaster you couldn't have planned for." This could have absolutely been prevented. All of the every single aspect of this could have been prevented by someone who was organized, not an incompetent scumbag who was greedy and only wanted to get paid and cut every single possible fucking corner they could. Uh, and I'm trying to find it here. This is not loading. Anyway. Yeah, so Photo Bear comments, they need to expose Sly for the piece of trash that he is. So the guy who set up this festival is a guy named Jonathan Sly. I'm gonna call Sly Guy. Sly Guy is a scumbag. He pouts all the time that he's for fans. He listens to people. This is a fan event, and every year is gonna be better and address the problems. And I'm sure some of you may not be surprised to find out that this will not be his first lawsuit, because there definitely will be. There definitely will be a massive, massive lawsuit coming in for this, and it's not his first one. Alright, this shit isn't working. Let's see if I can find it. But he was sued for, I believe, the 2021 event from barbacks and people who'd worked there, saying that they didn't pay, that they were still owed wages. Let's see if he can find it. He has a website? I didn't know that. Or oh no, I think that's the news station. There's like a local news station there that's like pressing them and trying to do a good job of calling these motherfuckers out. So props to them. Yeah, Sands versus Blue Ridge Rock Festival from 2022. Let's see what we got here. I know that there are at least 2 ongoing lawsuits for this motherfucker. Brandy Sands versus Blue Ridge Rock Festival and Jonathan Sly, douchebag. Plaintiffs in this case are bartenders and barbacks who worked at Blue Ridge Rock Festival in 2021 and 2022. They allege that the owners and operators of the festival failed to pay minimum wage, overtime, and tips that the Federal Fair Labor Standards Act and Virginia wage and hour laws require. That's a lot to say. Yeah, so he's gonna have a big fresh lawsuit to add on top of that one, and this one seems like it will be far worse because these other years at least happened. It seems like those other years most of the bands played. Um, there were a lot of problems, but it wasn't this catastrophic level. So I'm gonna catch up here to some of your comments. Photo Bear commented, DWP runs great festivals. I had an awesome time at Sonic Temple and Incarceration. Yeah, so he means Danny, I think it's Danny Whitmer presents, Danny Whitmer. I can confirm from friends in the industry that he's legit, that he runs festivals well, and bands and people in the industry want to work for him. I know he does multiple festivals out there. Yeah, so if you're doing a Danny Whitmer event, I know he does fucking uh Aftershock. I honestly can't remember. He does a lot of the big ones though. But those are festivals where you might get the common problems at festival where, like, there might be rain or something, but you're not going to get any of the bullshit that happened at Blue Shit Bullshit Fest. Someone commented, water wasn't $4, it was $5.50 in that fucking insane heat. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up. Pick your favorite, Sly Guy or Little Bo Prick. I'm gonna have to make a cartoon where these two are like roommates and they just go around fucking people over with festivals and just worse and worse things will happen. That will be fun. The first episode will be like a little, oh, they do some shit fest that falls apart, and then like the series finale will be so like they sink a continent. And uh, did you know that Sly Guy and Little Bo Prick are responsible for the sinkage of Atlantis? That's how bad they are at setting up these events. Um, doo-doo-doo. Where was more on here? So let me go back to that article that had a bunch of people's info saying what happened, because I obviously know what metal festivals and music festivals mean to me. I know how incredible they can be. Um, and I definitely know the feeling of planning for it for months, if not a year at a time, saving up, grinding at your work, making sacrifices to afford this fucking insanely expensive festival, taking time off work, your only paid time off work that you won't be able to get back. That's what drives me so fucking nuts is that, yeah, it would suck in the first place if you live there locally and you just drove by and the situation happened. But so many people came from either different states or different countries. I saw people that came from Switzerland and Australia and had to do this shit. Invested thousands of dollars. People were saying they invested $8,000, $5,000, brought their kids, brought their family. Some people wanted to bring their like older parents to their first music festival. Someone commented that them and their husband had been dreaming of seeing these bands since they were teenagers and they'd never get to go on vacations, and this was their one vacation. Bunch of people saying that they're like stay-at-home moms or they're, parents and they're working all the time. They can't just go to shows and festivals all the time, and this was the one that they put it all for. And they got so fucked. And it's just wrong. It's cruel. I can't fucking imagine. I almost came from fucking LA to be there. I would be raging. I'd be losing my fucking mind. I can't imagine coming from Australia or London or like places where people traveled really far. I mean, people who live nearby shouldn't have had to fucking deal with that shit. This was from I believe this is the news channel that's really trying to hammer on them. Thousands flocked to the 2023 Blue Ridge Rock Festival in hopes of seeing some of their favorite rock bands and artists. However, as the final days of the festival approached, things took a turn. Hail and rain hammered the festival on Thursday, and storms continued to pelt the area over the weekend. No, they didn't. On Saturday, September 9th, the 4-day music festival was canceled reportedly due to severe weather. But attendees said there was more to it than weather troubles. Bravella came all the way from Georgia and purchased a 4-day pass, an expensive one. Vella and her fiance booked an Airbnb in Greensboro, spending nearly $3,000 on the trip to see the concert. Vella told this news station that when she arrived on Thursday, she experienced powerful hail and said she was one of the lucky few who took cover in an enclosed tent before being told to evacuate. How did the workers tell people who did find shelter to evacuate? I need to know that because people were saying that they did hide under like bar tents or vendor tents or whatever, and security was yelling at them to leave. Did you people had to have told them to fuck off. I can't even process that situation. Um yeah, what the fuck? I need to hear more about that. Uh we get down to the line. We waited cold, wet, and hungry in that line for 3 to 4 hours to evacuate. She said aside from the weather, shuttle issues were persistent. Yeah, if this was, "Oh, it was just canceled because of the severe weather and there's just nothing you could do about it," there wouldn't be the shuttle problem, the garbage problem, the problem with the bands, the food, the staff. That is what is trying to happen here. I thankfully I feel like I can spot all of the tricky legal bullshit they're trying to do with their statements. Yeah, they are definitely going to try to get away with saying, "Oh, it was the weather and we couldn't do anything." Whether that means trying to keep all of the refunds or keep some of the refunds or just give everyone free tickets to next year, they're going to try to do some type of sneaky thing to not have to pay everybody back and not have to face the full consequences that they deserve. Um, with a lot of news stations that are reporting on it, some of them are just going like, "Oh, it's canceled the weather, whoopsie doo," and clearly that's bullshit and can't happen. The real story has to be told amongst people. If anything, because the people who were there deserve compensation for sure. Everyone does. Um, and festivals like this can't fucking be allowed to happen. That's really what uh I've gotten some shit on this channel, not too much to be honest, but a little bit saying like, oh, complaining about like Sick New World or Metal Days or whatever, saying like, oh, it's harmful to the metal community to uh talk out like that, or you're just a hater and you're just complaining and you're a pussy or anything. No. No. When you have everybody stating these issues, it's just something that can't fucking go on. How's it ever going to get better? Fans don't deserve to be treated like that. And that's my thing with this channel. I don't want to straight drama farm and jump on something and be like, "Oh, fuck you." But I have such a problem with genuine fans who just want to enjoy their art form, um, getting manipulated, getting fucked over, getting abused, being taken advantage of by business fuckheads who have nothing to do with the creation of music, who only want to just siphon as much money out of people as possible. There's a lot of that. Fans deserve to be treated with respect, and so do bands and everyone involved. I don't know why that's hard to understand. Doesn't it seem like a festival would probably go well if everyone was treated well and on the same page and taken care of? I know festival crews work hard and go above and beyond to make sure these events happen. It's not easy to put on a festival. So I know that if the crew is treated well and taken care of, not fucking like gloated over and fucking spoiled or anything, but treated well and respectfully, they will go above and beyond to make sure this fucking festival works. But if you don't feed them, then yeah, you're gonna have this shit fall apart. Um, I'm really glad to see that people are speaking out about it and saying what really happened because I'm so sick of seeing greedy business shitheads just try to get away with illegal loopholes. Um, I don't know how that they left the comments on their post because that's really where all this information started coming from. Um, I mean, not that they should have, but I'm surprised that they didn't shut down the comments, you know? But it's crazy, dude. Let me get to some of your guys' comments. Metalopoly says, I agree with you, Wyatt. I don't see thousands of metalheads being so passive, especially after sinking so much money into the trip. Yeah, yeah. When it comes to that, I think if they maybe if it had been storming, when they actually did cancel the festival, they probably would get some more people being like, "Oh, there's nothing you can do." But since it was clearly not raining and there's fucking proof, and everyone was so screwed over that they're all speaking out about it. Yeah, I can't imagine people being quiet about this and letting this slide, letting Sly Guy get by. I hope Sly Guy loses all his money for this. Yep. Yep. Uh, you want the goods you paid for, fucking pussy? Right, yeah. It's like, nah, man, you gotta be metal, bro. You don't, metal means not eating, not having water, standing out in a fucking lightning storm. not seeing bands, waiting in lines for hours. That's metal, bro. uh, so my next video is definitely going to be a full rundown of everything that happened at Blue Shit Bullshit Fest. Um, Everything that I can confirm happened. Like I said, I did see some people posting shit that wasn't true. Um, Specifically, not to call anyone out, but I saw someone post they saw like people get impaled by a flying tent. That wasn't true. People got hit by flying things going around, but impaled, you think a fucking spear went through somebody and fucking shattered them. Yeah, no. Um, that didn't happen. It was surprisingly not a mass casualty event, and I'm honestly amazed that it wasn't. Not that I wanted it to be, obviously not. Um, One thing I wanted to point on that I found very interesting was when I watched Tank the Text video, he said that he was talking to Sly Guy, and Sly Guy seemed blown away by the information he was hearing that the festival was so bad. He's clearly a fucking snake because there's no possible way he was just finding out for the first time right then how bad the festival was going. There's no way. This guy will look you in the eyes with a smile on his face and just fucking lie to you. Um, but he said that he had hired the production team who did Sick New World. If you've watched my channel for a little bit, you'll see that I did a video showing how awful Sick New World was. And I find it strange that the same production team who did Sick New World's fucking disaster also worked Blue Ridge. Isn't that interesting? I don't know anything about this production company, so I can't speak facts at all. But I'm wondering if it's a company with just a name and they hire a third party to fill those roles, and that third party hires people that they don't check, that don't have experience. It's just, hey, can you do it? Cool. That's what I think is obviously partially responsible, because even with that production team, you wouldn't have had all of these disasters. Sly Guy is not getting out of it, but I am very fucking curious about this production team and want to try to find out more about them. Um, Yeah, this comment right here. This year has not been great for festivals as a whole. Blue Ridge, Burning Man, Electric Zoo. I don't know what happened at Electric Zoo. Sick New World, Vakin, which I had tickets for but had to cancel before the event. I'm so glad you got to cancel. This is, yeah, Vegan Vampire. I saw someone say this too. The Gathering of the Juggalos has gone on fine for many years. The Gathering of the Juggalos was better every year than Blue Ridge Rock Fest. What does that tell you? Photo Bear says it's the weather is a ruse to keep the money. Exactly. Don't let them get away with it. That's the thing. It's you know, every video and live stream I do and everything, like, it's awesome if people share it and everything. I appreciate that. But for this, I really, really ask that people do share this live stream, my video that I will be releasing, share Tank's video, share fans' videos that you can find. This cannot be swept under the rug. It really can't. Someone said, "Oh, feck, I got here late. I've been waiting for you to cover this, bro. Sorry I got here late. You'll be able to go back and watch it pretty soon here. And I'm working on the video as we speak. It's yeah, it's a video that I did not want to rush. I wanted to obviously get it out there as soon as possible, but I wanted to make sure I covered everything. Everything that confirmed definitely happened. So no one can give the bullshit excuse of, oh, well, they can't control the weather. That's was something I was oh, yeah, before I'll go on for a little bit more here, but, um, I think I mentioned before that I wanna talk about this in the video. Obviously, Blue Ridge is coming up next, but after that, I feel like it's definitely time to do this video. I want to touch on the subject of blind loyalty in metal and how I think it's a big problem. Um, to expand on that, as everybody knows, metalheads are extremely passionate, dedicated fans, more so than a lot of music genres. They do way more than a lot of music fans do for other genres. And that passion is beautiful and it's important and it makes the metal community stand out and it genuinely is a beautiful thing. I love and deeply respect the passion fans have for metal. However, oftentimes, unfortunately, good, well-meaning, honest people get taken advantage of by scumbags who pretend to be looking out for them, pretend that, "Oh, we're all part of the same family. I'm doing this for you guys." Um, they can be unfortunately manipulated by these people who put on events like Blue Ridge, like Metal Days, I would say like Power Trip, um, who it's all about ripping the money off people. And it stops people from being like, yo, maybe we shouldn't be paying $1,000 for this festival that fell apart. Or, maybe these situations shouldn't be allowed to happen and we need to talk about it. And that will get covered up with you're not really metal, bro. You gotta like stick it out for the metal family. I'm willing to pay $10,000 to see my favorite metal band and support. And the person who says that is well intentioned, means good, wants to support their fans, and that's great. But the dickhead businessman is gonna push like, yeah, you should pay $10,000 to see your favorite artist. And most of that money probably won't go to them. Um, And it's yeah, it's something that's bothered me for a while, and that, happens that kinda does drive a divide, I feel, in the metal community a bit, where this sense of you have to enjoy it because it's metal, and you cannot comment on anything that might have been drastically wrong with it. And again, am not for just bashing and hating on shit just for fun and blah, 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 but, um fuck, I'm trying to remember what I'm saying. I'm talking so much. uh, like I said before, I just hate this whole sense of we're metal, we stay true to ourselves, and we don't take shit from people. But oh, I don't want to say the wrong thing, or I won't get put on that festival, or I won't be able to play that show, or I'll be kicked out of the band, or um, people keep commenting. I don't know if Soldier Boy played. Okay. um, Did Soulja Boy play? Please say yes. That's Soulja Boy. Tell him at Blue Ridge Rock Fest. I think he did. I'm not sure, but I don't know if he's one of the artists that did perform or not. Anyway, yeah. So it bothers me, this corporatized takeover of metal passion and metal community. Um, I have nothing but respect for people who are like, yeah, I would pay $10,000 and sell my children to see Iron Maiden. But that doesn't mean they should have to. That doesn't mean that they should be put in those situations, you know what I mean? Um, yeah, it's something that bothers me. I hate seeing genuine fans be taken advantage of by dickheads and then being gaslit into it. Um, funny enough, I've been reading the book Animal Farm lately, and goddamn, so much of this fits into that, I would say. Hang on, I want to catch up to some of these comments here before I get back to writing and editing about how crap this was. Uh, my jaw fucking dropped when I was watching Tank the Tech's video and he said he hired the guys from Sick New World for the festival. I was like, it all makes sense now. I literally screamed like, "What?" when I saw Tank said that. I was like, "Holy fuck." So, I can't say how much they were responsible for Blue Ridge's implosion, but they definitely played a part in it, and I would like to find out. Um, Metalopoly says, "Vegan Vampire makes a good point. The Juggalos are more competent than the people that ran this festival. It's crazy." Yep. Yep. I'm so glad I decided to save up and go to Grasshopper Hellfest next year instead of Blue Ridge. Actual divine intervention. Seriously. Yeah, you made such a good call right there. Uh, I have a friend coming in next week to go to some concerts, and I was gonna go Blue Ridge with them, and they ended up backing out first before I felt like I probably should. And as much as I hate this friend and they're a terrible person, I know they're listening right now, but as awful as you are, I have to thank you for making me dodge this major bullet and going to this fucking festival. And I genuinely feel fucking awful for everyone who was there and had to endure that shit. Thank you, Wyatt, for spreading the truth during the time where festivals straight up lie to their fans. Yeah, thank you. Um, that's my thing. I don't like seeing fans lied to, gaslit, ripped off. Olivia, is in the US a state ever closed the festival due to safety issues? Would that even be legal? I feel like it probably has, but goddamn, it's hard to think of one since a lot of terrible fests have gone off. Woodstock was in '99. Astroworld, Firefest wasn't in the US, but was run by a US shithead. Derek Tully says, I've heard we're all part of the same family from every scumbag boss I've ever had. It's never true. 100%. Um, Anyone out there watching this, if you do an interview and they say we're a big family here, major red flag. I'm not saying run away immediately, but keep a very big eye out. Answering Olivia, Woodstock 99 got shut down, I think. I believe that one got shut down by like fucking National Guard coming in here, people, because that was I think that is still the top of worst festivals to ever happen ever. Then probably Firefest and then probably Blue Ridge. I think. Tracy says, I heard that Will and Austin from Lorna Shore were giving out free merch in the crowd during Sleep Token because Blue Ridge was taking 40%. Yeah. I don't know from the artist specifically, but I wouldn't be surprised. But I saw someone who was a vendor post that vendors had to pay 50% of their profits to Blue Ridge, and then the system they had to use to charge people had bullshit charges on it. They're ripping people off too. Hanzo says 2 Chainz was the only rapper who played. You mean Vanilla Ice didn't play? How are you gonna miss the great? On top of everything that happened, get struck by lightning, ripped off, stranded outside in the cold, have seizures. On top of that, you don't even get to see Vanilla Ice. This festival was bullshit. Joker says, fuck that festival to death. Yep. 100%. Don't go. If it comes back, which it better not, don't go. Don't support it. Don't support any festival that this dude puts on. You think lately with festivals in general that because of a little rain or lightning, they cancel or postpone so fast like they're sensitive, right? When I went to Vok in 2012, there was immense rain and some lightning, and it wasn't canceled. Vok this year was obviously a weird situation, but I mean, they didn't shut down the festival. They didn't let half the people in, but they didn't shut it down. I played a fest in New York once where it was supposed to be outdoors, but a hurricane was supposed to be rolling through. They had a backup plan, gasp, and moved us indoors. Whoa. Who would have imagined? What a crazy plan. And that promoter was a mega cock, but he had a backup plan. even a promoter who's a shithead could do things to where they don't lead to such a fucking disaster. Um, Hope to see Sly lose everything. I completely agree. Funny thing was that given that this was not the first fuck up of Blue Ridge, the biggest one, but not the first. There's interviews with him. There's like posts from him from other years saying like, "It's time for me to speak up on what happened and to apologize and my heartfelt apology for what happened this year, and we're making improvements." And there was an interview with him where he was talking for this year, saying that like, "Yeah, everything's been improved." He said they had an emergency team. Someone specifically asked in this interview if they had like an emergency plan, an evacuation plan or something. And he was just like, "Yeah, we have a whole team working on that." So that was a straight fucking lie. That's definitely going to my video. There's also another post. I didn't see it again. I think it just popped up on their stories. But at first, they said that they had talked with a lot of the bands and their equipment had been damaged from the storm. And they tried their hardest, but they just weren't going to be able to do it. That is a fucking lie. That did not happen. As far as I can tell, as far as I've seen, no band had their equipment damaged so bad to where they weren't able to perform. So, just letting the truth out there. Great question. Metalopoly asks, if they milked money from every angle, why couldn't they afford to pay staff minimum wage and give them food? Is your crusade to make a video of almost every metal festival still ongoing? Sort of. It's a little iffy. I had an issue with a video that I released lately that is not up at the current moment that I'm working hard to have back up very soon. It was stupid and really pissed me off and kind of put me off from wanting to do some festival highlight videos, but there's definitely festivals I still really want to cover and highlight and get the word out for how awesome they are. So, dealing with some stupid issues, but depending on how this video works out, I'll see. I admittedly got very discouraged from doing these festival highlight ones, I'm going to admit. Not to say that I was discouraged from doing videos, because I still have definitely a lot I'm working on that I want to do. Catch up here. Oh, really? I didn't see this, but I'll have to find it. Sweet Tart comments, Amy Lee from Evanescence directly refuted the fact that their equipment got damaged. I'm gonna have to find that. Yeah, so this was just the most fucking insane thing ever. My phone was blowing up with notifications from people saying what was going on. Uh, yeah, it's. I legit have tried to read as many people's stories as I possibly can in comment sections, trying to get everything down. And that video is coming very soon. As soon as I possibly can. I'm hoping first, once that video's up, please do share it around. Not even so much for the benefit of my channel, of which it definitely will, won't deny it, but because people need to know about what fucking happened at this festival, and promoters like this cannot be allowed to do this shit again. That's why. Share my video, but share everyone else's video too. Hopefully, I'll have that interview with Tank the Tech coming, and we could compare some notes of what happened. I'll keep people updated with that. For now, I am going to be signing off. Check out my band, Dark Insanity, on Instagram and here on YouTube. We definitely will never play Blue Ridge or any festival this guy's involved in. Keep informing people of what happened, I would say. Not to act like it was the most horrible fucking tragedy in all of existence, but shit like this can't happen. It absolutely can't. So, thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate everybody being here and commenting. If you have videos or pictures from Blue Ridge, or if you know people who do, and you don't mind sending them to me for my video, I would appreciate it. I will put in the description of this my email for the channel so people can send me shit there. Or if you're on my social medias, you can send me that. Yeah, any and all information greatly helps. So take care, everybody. I hope people who survived Blue Ridge are doing better. I definitely hope you get some refunds and shit you're owed. Please know that this does not represent even most festivals out there. Um, and I think that's it for now. So yeah, take care, everybody. Stay metal, stay true to each other, and I will see you soon.